We're on the record.
All right, this is case D516583, Crane versus Sevilla. Mr. Crane, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Miss Sevilla, can you hear us?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this initially was on for Mom's motion to for an order to show cause. She requested alternatively that Dad have supervised visitation at Donna's house. There was an opposition by the plaintiff, Mr. Crane, to deny her request, declare her a vexatious litigant, acknowledge she's a pathogenic parent and she should be sanctioned for a meritless motion, etc. Did you both receive a copy of the Donna's House report that the court continued the case from this morning's calendar? We'll start
Yes.
with Mr. Crane.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me first note, Mr. Crane, for I find this very quizzical, that back in July 16th, in reviewing the minutes of that particular hearing, you absolutely accepted the minutes reflect the offer for the exchanges to occur at Donna's house because of the issues that were going on. So I find it quite confusing why I would end up with a report from Donna's house kicking you out of the program because of your actions.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I never asked to go to Donna's house. I don't live anywhere near there. I was asking for like a middle ground of like Walmart or a McDonald's or even a police station, because I don't live anywhere near Donna's house. We already did the Donna's house thing 5 years ago. And like I explained, my work schedule has changed so many times because of my visitation schedule that I've lost jobs because of this. And I've asked, like, as you can see, you can check the wizard. I asked her to reschedule because I got really deadly ill. I got sick one day. I ended up drinking like poisoned milk basically. It had been sitting out all day, and the roommate that I had put it back in the fridge. So I asked her if we could situate another day for visitation, and she told me that we couldn't do that. She said it was up to Donna's house, and negating everything you said last time, that we could work out our own visitation schedule.
If there's an agreement, if there's not an agreement, then we go back to what it is. It is what it is if you can't reach an agreement.
That's the whole point of what I'm saying, Your Honor, is that she continues to abuse the system for no other reason other than she says that I violated the court order with all the red cards, but I'm actually the one that called Metro to show up to her house to try to get my exchanges done.
So she abused the system, although, and again, you for some reason believe that Donna's house is taking sides in this particular case. You sent them You sent them emails. I don't know if you recall the substance of those.
I have them highlighted in front of me. I remember everything said. It's the same thing. I was just as early as her fiance. Only we were more than 100 yards apart in the parking lot. It's a very big parking lot, and I've shown up the same time since I started the program and told them that every time I went there, they would change the rules. It was 5 minutes after at 9:05 we could leave, and then just recently it was 9:15 we could leave. They just kept changing the rules, and I kept asking why they kept changing the rules to where they were limiting less and less time with me and my child.
You know what, Mr. Crane? Listen, there's some things where a lot of the stuff repeats here at Family Court. But, once in a while we get new obscure type of just weird stuff. I really don't understand when you're filling out a court document, because at filling out an informational sheet at Donna's house would be considered a court document, that you would put the name of a movie character because you were doing so under duress was your explanation to them. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Because I felt like I was being treated like a schizophrenic, Your Honor. Like I've been going through the same situation for going on 6 years now with nothing but allegations. There is no proof behind anything that she's alleged. Nothing. And I end up in the same situation over allegations. Even every legal representative that I've talked to has said the same thing. They don't understand, with no issues with me and my daughter other than issues with me and my baby's mother, why my visitations have been not only just cut down to 1 day, that it's causing improper advancement towards my child, for me and her to have a relationship together because of this situation, that it continues to go on.
It was, first of all, it was, as I recall, every other weekend, correct? And then to have more frequency, we did it 1 day every week. So there was no difference in what this is.
I've had it every week. I've had it every week since my daughter was born. I had 2 days a week, every week since my daughter was born until this all went down.
Listen,
and I did nothing to cause this to happen other than get issued red card for her denying me my visitations with my daughter in front of her house, which she requested to happen. She wanted me to go to her house. And that's in all the motions in the minute prior to me, to you being the judge now. This goes all the way back to Judge Elliott. She wanted it to be done at her house. And I said I didn't want that to happen. I wanted there to be a middle ground, either a McDonald's, a Walmart, or a police station.
Listen, sir, you can hear the animosity in your voice right now. And given your situation with you, her, and her significant other, fiance, boyfriend, whatever it is, do you really think I'm not going to keep it at a supervised situation? And at Donna's house, kick you out, which I can tell you is not that common. I don't get it.
I assure you, Your Honor, I'm not as hostile as you guys all think you are. It's just I've been dealing with this situation for going on 6 years now. All right. I'm wondering why I keep losing time with my daughter.
Listen, you're it's going to be stayed as a supervised exchange, and if you want to pay for it at Family First, you can do that. I need to know what times, because I cannot do, listen, there was one entry, it's just unbelievable that you talked to a program manager at FMC. Let me try to find the language. That you think that you can apparently walk around the building to have more time. I work at 5 p.m. on the complete other side of town, so I will continue to be the way it is. I suggest you file a grievance with the judge. Again, just blown away. So
that wasn't the wording that I said. I said that to the judge, that when this started, that I had to be at work at 5 p.m. I'd already been late enough times, Your Honor, to where I was about to lose my job again. So, and I do work entirely on the other side of town. And we were all the way over by the baseball stadium. We were nowhere near the courthouses where we would walk around at. We would go watch soccer games until the time, and then I'd walk back. And knowing that if you're 5 minutes late, you get fined.
What does that matter? Listen, they have their own rules. And the only thing I can do, since you got kicked out of Donna's house, is there's one other facility. It's at Families First Services. It's out in Henderson. It costs more, but I have no other options. I need to know what times the exchanges are going to be, so we don't have any problems. And they're going to have their own rules. Do you understand that, Mr. Crane?
Yes, sir.
So you tell me, so you can get to work on time. What day, what hour?
I'll just quit my job, Your Honor. I'll just find another job again, because I don't have any other choice. I want to spend time with my kid. This is more about my kid than it is about anything else. That's all this has been about.
What times?
It's been about my child.
So
whatever works for Mrs. Sevilla is always the way it's been. Whatever frequently works with her schedule, so that her family doesn't fluctuate around what schedule I have with my child, with our child.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. then it will be. I will get you the referral out to Family First Services. You're responsible for those costs.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
So if you'll fill that out, Madam Clerk. All right, Ms. Sevilla, what does he want to say?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, first, I'd like to address that I have always worked with Mr. Crane and his multiple jobs. They seem to be ever changing. The level of verbal abuse, the institutional threats that I'm constantly getting, the mental instability that have been seeing over the past 7 years. We all have proof of all of this. I have proof of it through the emails, the text messages, the phone calls. So these are not made up allegations, as he states. It is all proven. And I believe the court was given a video so you can hear the level of threat, the level of violence that he takes this to with my fiance.
Let me start there, Ms. Sevilla. Listen, I understand, and again, not in defense of Mr. Crane and or his actions. You're referring as far as your boyfriend, and you circled it in your exhibits. I have a different view than Judge Elliott. When she issued that years ago, she indicated that will remain in full force and effect basically forever. Most of us, I believe, have a 1-year period on that particular behavior order. Your fiance at any time can go down to a local justice court and file for a restraining order based on whatever video you're referring to, texts, whatever threats that he perceives. He can do that. I don't have jurisdiction over Mr. Crane and your boyfriend. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor, and we have done that 2 times with Judge Goodman, and it was denied due to the family court case.
That makes no sense.
I know.
That makes no sense.
That's part of the frustration that we're having, Your Honor.
You can have as much frustration. I'm telling you, I do not have jurisdiction. They handle them very frequently. And I can tell you there's no judge down there that says, well, we're going to deny this because there's a family court case. This court has no jurisdiction between Mr. Crane and your boyfriend. They do.
If I may, Your Honor?
No, you may not. So you can seek relief back there again if necessary. But if they denied it, my guess is it was actually on the merits because there wasn't enough there.
It was denied because of the custody exchange in this particular family court case. I think it was Judge Eric Goodman, said that he could not rule because it is a family court matter.
Okay. I'll put in my minutes that's not the case, that they have jurisdiction. So you can go down and file for, I guess, number 3. I don't have jurisdiction over Mr. Crane and your boyfriend.
Understood. We do have the other violations of the restraining order, however, which is why I filed for the motion to show cause for contempt all the contact.
The restraining order that was issued this year?
Correct, by you. Yes, Your Honor.
Then you're to file that in the T case. The violations get filed in the T case. When you filed the exhibit, I know that you attached the TPO, but the one you listed first was the behavior order, and the violations you did was circle in the behavior order. So if you feel that there was a violation of this, first of all, it should be reported because it's a crime to Metro. Second of all, if you're alleging violations of this back at family court, which is a different standard, you need to file for the violation back in the T case.
I did, Your Honor, and the T case was heard on October 26th. The hearing master, due to the level of aggression by Mr. Crane, extended my restraining order until April 26th of 2021.
Okay.
And I did outline every single violation of the restraining order. Now, here's the issue, Your Honor. The family courts failed to upload this restraining order to the LVMPD database. So each time that the restraining order was violated and I filed a report, they were not able to do anything because they did not have it uploaded into their database by family court. So I got in contact with Mr. Mark Fernandez, who got me in contact with Randall through the court administration office. Randall and I had been speaking. He admitted that the court did have a major administrative error. and they went ahead and reserved Mr. Crane the restraining order, and the restraining order does list that he is not to have any contact with Michael Greenfield.
Okay.
And he has not obeyed that lawful order, and
Hey,
there's over
but they-
13
listen,
violations.
I don't. If it has to be a written order in place. If that was an oversight by and we don't serve the T case, that's a completely different. I'm over that department in particular assigned cases to me like this one because they're linked. But we were not the ones that were supposed to do that. And if there was an oversight, I have nothing to do with that. I cannot hold him in contempt because he was not served. And if that's the reason why the TPO hearing master did not do that, that's a valid reason not to do it. All I can say is if he's got it now, then it will protect you and your significant other in the future. But again, he can seek his own TPO in those courts.
Well, I do have a detective. I have 2 detectives working on this, Your Honor, and
Okay.
they did submit it to the district attorney's office for a warrant for his arrest for the violations.
Okay?
All right. As far as Donna's house goes, I feel that it's the safest place to do the exchanges. I do not.
Listen, he got kicked out of Donna's house. I'm being clear. Again, it might be a
Oh.
little longer drive for both of you, but we will move it to Family First Services. It's out in Henderson. We'll get you a brochure for it as well. We will get you that order and that information out by the end of today. And then you need to set it up so that it can occur by this Saturday.
I believe he was only kicked out for this Saturday. Per Jan Parlin, they just wanted some clarification on some fees and to let you know of his behavior. I wasn't aware of being fully kicked out.
If I may speak, Your Honor.
Hold on now. You're correct. When reading that closer, I'm sorry, he became argumentative, and so the November 14th was canceled.
Correct.
So if you guys want to, you know what, I will leave it up to Mr. Crane. You want to keep it at given your suspicions, given your etc. regarding Donna's house. If you want it moved to Family First Services, we will do that today. Otherwise, you're back with Miss Parlin and the Donna's house. So you let me know, Mr. Crane, which one.
I'd rather do it at Donna's house. It's closer. I don't have a driver's license. I don't even have a valid ID right now, so I'm unable to do anything but go to work and to the grocery store.
Wait,
because due to what
if you don't have a driver's license, who's picking the child up with you?
my stepfather takes me and picks her up. Sometimes I take an Uber or a Lyft.
Okay, you need to follow their rules. I think you understand by the letter what the rules are. They make the rules. Do not show up there early. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let me just for my own inquiry. In the email that you sent Ms. Parlin, you state, quote, "No one, including the judges, take responsibility for the deaths they caused because of the failed system they've set up. Have a nice day." What did that mean?
You know how many suicides happen because of the way that these exchanges go, Your Honor? Because I've been researching it for the past 4 years. How many suicides happen because of this reason? Because of negating the fact that I am the father of the child that I barely get to see because of allegations. And I've lost so many jobs because of this. I don't get emotional about it anymore. I just want to be a part of my child's life. I want no problems with Brandy Sevilla whatsoever, and everything she throws is allegations that in all way improperly take the rights of mine away from me because of allegations. Restraining orders can be filed by anybody. It's been said by every legal representative that I've talked to, anybody can file a restraining order. The restraining orders that Michael Greenfield filed in Justice Court got thrown out because I filed a CPS case because my daughter showed up with welts on her behind. So I called CPS, and I called every other investigative services. You can look it up. The pictures were marked. My daughter showed up with welts on her behind.
Case was closed.
It still happened, though, Your Honor. That is the reason that the restraining order got filed, because I got upset and wanted to know what happened. But I called CPS, I called CSI. Every one of those people came out to my house. And until about 6 months ago, I still had no idea what happened. CPS would not release what happened to my daughter to me because I don't have parental rights. All I have is visitation rights.
Correct.
Your Honor, I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't
She
either.
went down a slide.
It's public record now. She can lie all she wants. I have the pictures. CPS has the pictures.
And the case was closed because there was no proof of any abuse. She went down a slide at school.
Okay.
And you
According to
know
Autumn,
this,
she actually got beaten because the room wasn't clean enough with a belt.
Oh, my God. Oh.
That's what my 6-year-old told me, and that's what the case states at
Ms. Sevilla,
CPS.
again, you've indicated just to continue with the supervised exchanges at Donna's house. They will put them on notice that that's to continue
Yes, Your Honor.
pursuant to the order. Again, I can't really apologize for the system because that error, as you're alleging on their part, was on that particular department. It was not on my particular staff. So
Yes, Your Honor. And we
hopefully-
would like some clarification of fees. There has been some miscommunication, I guess misunderstanding about the fees. I believe in our last hearing on July 16th, you had mentioned $5 for supervised exchange, both AM and PM, being $10 for the day. But Donna's house is stating it is $10 for morning and PM, being $20 per day, which we just need some clarification if you wouldn't mind, Your Honor.
If that's their rate, then I probably misunderstood. So it's going to be at whatever their rate is. If it's $10, then it's $10. We will let them know that as well.
It was $10 per supervised visitation hour. That's on the paperwork, but there's no fee specific for supervised exchange only.
Madam Clerk, what
So
does your exchange rate say on your sheet?
It says on the form, it says $10 per supervised visitation
No,
hour,
that's-
but it doesn't say anything about the exchange. It's their
Do you have the
form, though.
exchange referral?
On the exchange referral, yeah. But that's their form, so I don't, if they want to update it,
$10?
yeah.
Their form says $10, so I guess it is the $10.
Unless she's talking about the $5 per party, that's listed on there too. But that wasn't selected.
So it's $10, but 50-50, right?
You ordered Dad to pay it. If it's 50/50, it's $5 each, but that's
It's
only
Dad's
$5.
order pursuant to the last order. It's his.
Maybe that is.
Listen, I can't, whatever their rates are, if it's $10 for the exchange, and that's what it is. If I misstated that it was $5, maybe it ends up being $5 a piece. If it ends up being split,
yeah, the paperwork wasn't clear as far as the exchanges. It only gives rates for a supervised visitation hour, which they
No.
don't have at.
listen, that's not even close to 5 or 10. That's at least 20 an hour. So I don't know why there would be.
I think she's talking about the wording on their referral, but it's the form that they prepared. So that's the form that we use, and it says visitation, even though it's an exchange form.
There should be both, though. We used to have both hard copies.
We do, but it's the wording in the form says visitation, even though it's an exchange.
Okay, that is apparently their wording in their standard form, but I guess can we issue a new one correcting that? Because that's not supervised visitation, that's a supervised exchange.
Yeah,
Correct.
Strike it out. And
So we will change our form permanently if that's.
I can ask
Mark.
about that, but I cannot. It's
All
in
right.
Odyssey.
So we will get you that out as soon as we can. You'll get that by the end of today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can you just clarify who's paying, because there was argument before after that last order.
what was the check?
I thought it was Dad, but then there was argument after that they were.
What was in the form then?
That, the last one, that last amended one, it's not clear.
There was an amended order. July 16th hearing stated that the father was to pay, and then there was a complaint made by Mr. Crane. So July 18th, the order was amended, and it was stating that I was supposed to pay.
No.
So I have been paying this entire time.
No, it will be split. So it'll be the $10 per exchange, and it will be split. So it's basically $5 per person. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else for today?
I was just curious, Your Honor, as far as the family wizard violations. There's been 12 of them. He did not sign up until September, and all the contact that was made between myself, him, and my fiance, I just kind of feel, what are we going to do about these violations? It's very clear.
If I may, Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Crane.
it shows my initiation date. I think it's July 23rd with the Family Wizard. She did not acknowledge me until September. It states the day that I initiated the Family Wizard. It was back in July. It just took me some time to get the money together. But I initiated, she just did not acknowledge me until September in the Family Wizard. And it took for me to contact Michael Greenfield for her to look at her Family Wizard.
Family Wizard actually gets notified immediately when there is a message being sent, and my first message was on September 26th. I signed up within the 7 days of your order, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Crane did not.
Okay. All I can say is there's been a lot of, it's now set up. He's now enrolled, correct?
Yes, sir.
Miss Sevilla?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's enrolled now, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I realize that there was some delay in him signing up for it. I don't know exactly what you want me to do because of that.
Well, I think there's NRS statutes in regards to violating the orders, restraining orders, and the other orders that
orders you're going to take up in a different court.
I was told, Your Honor, to do it through this court by Randall in the administration office to open up a case to show cause for contempt, and I followed his directive.
Listen, you're talking about a lot of different things. You're talking about the TPO stuff. You're talking about a behavior order. I've told you my take on the behavior order. I cannot do a contempt on a 5-year-old order. There's a TPO in place. I'll say right now, there's no longer, now that it's from Department L and is now my case, there's not a behavior order in place. The TPO, you can renew that every year if you'd like. I really don't understand what you want me to do. Are you wanting me to throw him in jail, make him pay fee? I don't know what it is you're wanting because he delayed signing up for our Family Wizard. He already has about the minimal contact that a non-custodial parent has.
I guess there is confusion, Your Honor. I am being told by detectives and by your court administrative office, by Randall, I forgot his last name, please forgive me, to file the motion to show cause for contempt of the restraining order because
Okay,
family
let me stop you right
did-
there. Did he say at family court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and I said you can do that back in front of the TPO hearing master. They consider the violations.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. Again, the hearing was held on October 26th, and due to the level of...
I don't know what else I can do for you, Miss Sevilla. I really don't. again, I can
Okay.
apologize for them for not getting that entered and served. He's now put on notice. He's now enrolled in Our Family Wizard. He has, again, he still has frequent contact under the statutory, has a right to have frequent contact with his child. But again, it's about, as other than supervised visitation, which I'm not going to order under the circumstances, he has 1 day a week. I don't know, again, I don't know what it is that you're asking me to do.
I am asking for Mr. Crane to abide by every lawful order that you have given to
Okay.
please refrain from the abuse and the contact, the unnecessary contact.
All right. I'll note it for the record, and again, file back in the T case if you think there's a violation now that it's been served on him accurately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you guys have a good day. We'll get you out the, we'll put out an amended order clarifying the payment to the Donna's house. We'll get that copy to you and get that over to Donna's house as well.
Thank you.
The request by Mr. Cranes to declare her the defendant a vexatious litigant for abusing the TPO system, etc., that's going to be denied because clearly there was a basis for that. Court's not going to sanction her for filing for the extensions and or violations, and cannot find that the current motion is frivolous. All right, we'll get you out a copy of the order within hopefully the next couple hours. Have a good day. Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, Your Honor.